The most important thing is to awaken your body's intelligence. So your body is very intelligent. It knows exactly what it needs. If you could only listen to it, you would have all the answers in a second. You don't need me, you don't need any nutritionist, you don't need anybody to tell you what you have to do, because your body is already giving you the signs and signals, It tells you when it's hungry, it tells you when it's sleepy, it tells you when you go out in the sun and your skin is burning, you immediately have a sensation. If you listen to it, you'll know, okay, that's enough sun for me, If you drink too much, you know that, okay, tomorrow I do have a hangover, this is not good for my body. If you overeat, you have gas, you have uncomfortable feeling. Your body is always talking to you. Dearth and a kind of a gray area, especially in India. I'm going to address it as for the Indian market. There's a huge lack of transparency, lack of ethics, confusion around what is healthy, what is organic. So we're going to touch a little bit upon what actually constitutes to skin health in every aspect of our well-being. So I think everybody knows a little bit about what to eat, right? It starts with, okay, let's the most basic food diet, because that's where it all starts from. It's our first prime life. So the first step, of course, to health would be eating right. And this is all interconnected, right? This is all interconnected because eventually it leads to good skin, good hair, bright eyes, fresh smelling mouth. It's all part of your skincare and your well-being. So how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, in what state of mind are you when you eat? What do you do after eating? How do you feel after eating? Are you able to assimilate what you're eating? Do you have enough energy after what you've eaten? Is it good for me? And I know for sure there's no one right formula for a large group of people. Each one has their own unique system of functioning. Each one of us has our own likes, dislikes, each body has its own what it's attracted to, what is repelled by. So the most important thing for any individual, and this is a common rule for everybody, this can be applied to every single person across the spectrum, is understanding your body. That is the key. It's not to understand which diet is right for me, what food is good for me, what supplement is good for me. It's understanding what is my body asking for. That is the most important thing, according to me. And of years and years of experience, I started studying nutrition, I think, in 2005. So it's been a continuous study. And by nutrition, I mean, of course, I started with the gross subjects of, just diets, different diets, high protein, low protein, a vegan, raw, what are the different diets that is good for a person, and iodine, macrobiotics, everything. I touched upon everything. And finally, from the conclusion and the assimilation of all of the study, just came to a very simple thing is, the most important thing is to awaken your body's intelligence. So your body is very intelligent. It knows exactly what it needs. If you could only listen to it, you would have all the answers in a second. You don't need me, you don't need any nutritionist, you don't need anybody to tell you what you have to do, because your body is already giving you the signs and signals, It tells you when it's hungry, it tells you when it's sleepy, it tells you when you go out in the sun and your skin is burning, you immediately have a sensation. If you listen to it, you'll know, okay, that's enough sun for me, If you drink too much, you know that, okay, tomorrow I do have a hangover, this is not good for my body. If you overeat, you have gas, you have uncomfortable feeling. Your body is always talking to you. So we are very complex beings, right? When I say complex, it doesn't mean difficult. We are very, 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 very full of diversity. We are full of layers. So to understand also, maybe today I just don't feel like eating, and I should honor that. It doesn't mean, 3 meals a day means 3 meals a day. When it's full moon, I do have a lot of energy naturally. So I should know to control my diet that day. I do not need so much food naturally on a moon day. When it's low, when it's a black moon, I have low energy. So perhaps I need slightly more, or not. It's again depends on person to person. If your constitution is naturally that you need more time to wake up in the morning, then I do need spices to invigorate me, to start my metabolism. I mean, these are all I'm just giving you examples of how different each one of us is. So we understand that the most important thing is to awaken your body's intelligence. And how do we do that? It's not just easy. It doesn't come naturally, because Perhaps it does for some of you, but I believe it's a practice that if we start practicing listening to our body, the voice becomes more and more clear. So it starts with very small steps. First, understanding, okay, I'm tired. My body's telling me I'm tired. Maybe I'm at work, I can't sleep, but I take 5 minutes off just to rest. So you've already given the body the signal that, hey, I'm listening to you, So like I said, the body is very intelligent and it's a constant biofeedback. So your body, he or she is already telling you, oh, I'm tired, oh, I'm hungry. So if you can't have a full meal, when your body says you're hungry, have a small snack, just to tell your body, I'm listening to you. So it starts with these baby steps. And this is my experience. And trust me, it works, because the body is the most intelligent working system we have on this planet. It adjusts to temperature, to emotions, to trauma, to beauty. It adjusts to everything. It knows exactly it adapts. And it's also telling you, when you walk in nature, your body is happy, you can feel it. You feel happy. So okay, this is what it likes. Like I said, so that's like you give your feedback to your body as well. Hey, I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. I honor you. I'm listening to you. So that starts a beautiful symbiotic relationship with the body. And that's how you start to slowly awaken your body's intelligence, by listening to it. You go to a buffet of food, and the first thing that attracts you is your senses, the smell, the sight, the colors, and you're like, oh, I want to eat everything, of course. And that's the time your senses are stimulated by all the various smells and textures and memories. So food is also emotional. And how do we work around that then? For some people, they always tell me, some of my clients tell me, oh, but my body wants beer because I feel so happy after it. That's what it wants in the moment. And my body says, I want a cake in the moment, and I want, I like to eat late at night while watching TV because that gives me comfort. So it's important to differentiate between, very important, what is emotional, longing, and what is body asking for. There are two different things. There's an emotional response to something, and there is a physical, actually biochemical response to something. It's not easy at first, but it becomes easier when the key is always, how do you feel after? How do you feel after whatever you do? So yes, I had a big glass of cold milkshake full of sugar with ice cream and all that. I feel really good in the moment because it's sugar. It makes me very... How do you feel after that? Are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling sluggish? Do you feel heavy? Perhaps it's what you need in the moment. Perhaps if you want to feel heavy, that's what you need. But you have to then understand, is my mood dropping? So these are all body signals that will help you understand really what is the difference between an emotional ask and what is the true intrinsic body asking for. What does my body need in this moment? And that's really the key for me to get into understanding your own body. And once that starts, that relationship starts, you will see how easy it becomes then to choose foods. Then whatever we have learned in the principles of Ayurveda, natural health, like they always say, eat local, eat seasonal, eat on time, do not eat when you're not hungry, do not stuff yourself when you're not hungry, do not eat late at night. All these things will come naturally to you. You don't have to try. I mean, of course, it's a reference, for you to always have that verification and have that validation that yes, these things have also been said by our ancestors, have also been said by our elders, the people who have a lot of wisdom. But I'm noticing that my body is asking for almost the same things, it gets tuned to what is a natural biorhythm and gets tuned to what is naturally good for you. And trust me, that starts to really then give you the key to overcome, even hardships in life. I know it sounds like a very drastic or a big statement, but it starts really small, and that's how you then overcome big things, because you're starting small, you're, able to understand things. And that understanding also then amplifies into grander things. You start to understand very different things, because then your body is really talking to you. So it's not just about awakening your body's intelligence just to feel better or to eat better, but it's also to live better. It's also to deal with, the things we have in our, let's say, challenges we have in our daily life, or to receive the abundance that we have around us. So it starts to become just a natural way of living, which is what is holistic. right? It's not under the separation of just diet or exercise or sleep or, superfoods or whatever category, however you want to compartmentalize it. It's not then separate. It's all under the whole umbrella, because I'm an intelligent being. I'm understanding what I need. I'm understanding how I feel. I'm honoring that. I'm then using that as a feedback, then having this relationship with myself. So it's actually getting into a beautiful relationship with your own self. And I think that is the most important part of well-being or of living. And that's how we see things. So, that's how I see also. So when a person does come to me and ask me for a diet, I have a 15-page questionnaire all about your mood, your behavior, your character, and the last part is what you eat. Yes, of course, we eat 3 times a day, perhaps for 3 hours a day, but the rest of the time we're living. And we're constantly having this biochemical input. So that was the broad and general understanding of actually what is health and what is, well-being, what is actually being well, what it means to live in your own beautiful organic existence and understand it. And then if you then move slowly deeper into, if you do want to get deeper and more specific of what constitutes this well-being, we can then go into then we can have, okay, but let me explore my sleep cycle, for example. How many of us sleep with the TV on, with noise, with light, without preparing to sleep? Which is, by the way, more, of course, food is very important, diet is very important, I completely agree. But I personally believe sleep is most important. Because if you're not resting and recovering, whatever you eat, trust me, is not going to be assimilated. If you're not able to rest well, you're not able to perform well, you're not able to function well. Your systems, your digestive system, nervous system, endocrine system, whatever systems we have inside of us, needs the balance of rest to function well. So I do address things in priority right now. So I will address in priority. Priority is sleep, rest, emotional health, then comes your intake. But before that, we do need to address sleep cycles. So we need to address how much time are you spending in nature. The most nourishment to our being comes from nature. And I mean being in nature, not just consuming it on a plate of food. Being in nature is the most nourishing thing to our ecosystem. And I don't know why, because none of the studies have yet come to the understanding of why being in nature is so important. But intuitively, what I feel is that being in this, let's say electromagnetic field of plants, that they have their own, field, we are absorbing from that because we are permeable beings. So we are absorbing their, intelligent systems, and we are learning from them. And as you see, they don't have so many issues. They are perfectly well adapting to what is happening around us. They live in harmony with each other. You don't see nature fighting with each other. They grow beautifully. They help each other. There is a nice ecosystem going on there. So when we are in that system, we are automatically, learning from them, and we are also awakening our intelligences from them. We are learning from them constantly. So being in nature, this is my intuition. It's not necessarily what is being said, but it's my intuition that when we are in nature, we start to nourish ourselves with this, biointelligence that then makes our biointelligence much more functional and much more effective, efficient, so to say. So I don't know if many of you know, there's a therapy that's called forest bath, forest bathing. It's an old Japanese therapy where they just say the most therapeutic way of recovering and nourishing yourself is just go into the forest. So you go into the forest and you just walk slowly, and you don't have to do anything, it's your system is already doing everything. You just be. You just try to walk and breathe and just be in nature. It's not, it sounds very simple, but it's very profound. So it's just one of the things I recommend, before. Of course, I do. If we go into specifics, I will recommend that we do take superfoods. We pay attention to what we eat, how we eat, and that is, again, layer by layer by layer. But the first important part is taking care of yourself, awakening your body's intelligence, being in nature, sleeping well. If you already have these 3, your foundation blocks, these are your foundation blocks. If these 3 are already strong, then we can build on that.